And welcome back. This is your man Warrior. This is another patron roster review. This is Asher. Asher's been playing for about 8 months. He does spend a little bit of money in the game, hence the reason why after 8 months he's got the team that you're looking at. It's amazing. He is from the Kraken Force. What is happening, you guys? Kraken Force is out there in force. They're kicking butt. All right, Asher, we're going to take a look at your team. Now, you told me over the messaging what you wanted to farm and what you were focused on, and you talked about the Jawas and how you've got their mod battles now done. That was a priority, but you got it done. You also said you were farming Director Krennic, Death Trooper, Tarkin, and Thrawn. And so I was looking through your inventory, and it's like, you know, Director Krennic and Death Trooper, all of these characters are like basically done. I mean, you gear 11 7-star. They're amazing. So my guess is you're just trying to finish off some of their abilities, and you're also trying to get some of their mods tweaked. But you've got an amazing Empire setup. Obviously, Empire is a passion of yours. For Arena, though, you asked for some suggestions on Arena, kind of what to tweak. The team you're using with Darth Vader, Darth Nihilus, Thrawn, and Shore Trooper is sick. Thrawn ensures Shore Trooper never dies and fractures the opponent. Darth Nihilus is there because people are being fractured to just insta-kill with his time. Darth Vader, because he's the leader, is putting down debuffs constantly that don't go away, and then he gets an insta-kill with his Culling Blade. So you're devastating the team. The only person that I know you like that doesn't make sense in this team is Boba Fett. Now, this is why he doesn't make sense. He makes sense in the sense that he works very well under Darth Vader. You're smart with that because of his insta-kill capability, his ability block ability, and all of that. But this is the issue with Arena, and you know this. Speed is more important than anything else when it comes to the top 5. And if you want to consistently be top 5 and make a team more durable, Boba Fett is not as big a threat on defense as one would like to think. And so Sith Assassin is going to speed your team up. She's going to keep herself more protected and harder to hit than Boba Fett would. She's going to be able to bring a stun to the table, do damage straight to health. She also is going to speed your team up, which is going to give you that crazy speed that you really need with Darth Vader as the leader. So while Boba Fett works amazing, I think you're going to get more traction with Sith Assassin. Now, with that said, your Sith Assassin is gear 11 7 stars, and her attacks and abilities are at 7 or at 3. They need to be maxed out. So, and she has no mods on her. And the key to this is if she's really fast, you're golden. If you can get her as close to 270 as possible for your team, it's going to make it an absolute nightmare for anyone that's going up against your Arena team. Now, of all the characters you said you were farming, you're done with about half of the ones you mentioned to me, so I'm not going to mention those teams or characters for farming. As far as Death Trooper, you know, Tarkin, Thrawn, all of them, you've got them leveled up and maxed out. I'm going to go over the characters I feel like you need to focus on that you haven't focused on as much. First comes by way of Clone Troopers, and look at this Clone Troopers team. Now, I know you use clones in there, and you're not using Rex. You're using, in Phase 4, you're using Princess Leia, and so that's why Rex isn't leveled up. It makes sense, I get it, but it doesn't make sense. Rex is still one of the top 3 leaders in the game, period, hands down. He is super amazing. You're going to want him in your lineup at some point, somewhere down the road, and it just doesn't make sense to have one of the top 3 best leaders in the game just sitting there at level 1. So I would slap him in your favorites and gear him up, level him up. Until you use Rex, it's hard to understand fully why his kit works the way it works. It looks okay on paper, and it works way better in real life. So until you get him leveled up, you'll never fully understand why Rex is important, even if you see video. So get your Rex leveled up, not for your clone team specifically, but indirectly as one of those characters in the game that you need for long-term meta viability. Because you love chewing on teams and just spitting them out at gear 11 so quickly, I would highly recommend Ewoks. They're getting a rework. We know this now. And your Ewoks, 2 of them are already at 7-star gear 11, so you're halfway done and ready to go. Who knows, maybe the Ewoks will be needed for the next Luke Skywalker's journey that comes out in August. I wouldn't put it past them if they did that, because Ewoks are being reworked now. And then in the month of August, they said that was the next stage of Luke's journey. So whatever that means for the next journey, there's a good chance they'll use the newly redesigned Ewoks in that case. So I would recommend working on Ewok Elder and Scout. Now, Scout, when maxed out, does do turn meter reduction for Rancor and things like that, and he works very well in a team with Tebow and Ewok Elder. And Ewok Elder works excellent. And so surprisingly, there are some pretty cool Rancor video footage out there of these little fuzzy bears soloing Rancor, as long as you have a couple other characters like Jyn or so. But Tebow lead, R2-D2, Jyn or so, Ewok Scout, Ewok Elder are amazing as a solo team. And this is just a fun team, and it's going to be reworked, like I said. So because you only need a couple more characters leveled up and you want to have someone to work on, you want a farming list, this is who I'm going to recommend you farm, is your Ewoks. Next comes out of First Order. Your First Order is looking really good. First Order Stormtrooper will get there. You'll eventually get him to 7 stars. I know his farm is a nightmare, but you have the rest of them. Kylo Ren, First Order, Captain Phasma, and the Stormtrooper at level 10. But then First Order Officer, Foo, F-O-O, Foo. First Order Officer is just sitting there casually at Gear 8. He's 1 away from Gear 9. Go ahead and get the 7 pieces it takes to get him to Gear 10, the 1 plus the 6 you need in Gear 9, and level him up so that way your First Order team is ready to go. First Order team is fun, and you'll never know when they decide to add more First Order characters. Who knows, this fall that could happen with the new movie coming out this fall. So there's that. And then lastly, looking at your Jedi, you have an okay Jedi squad, but you have Ahsoka at Gear 11, I'm guessing for ships and also for the Phase 1, but you don't have your Jedi Knight Anakin. Crazy. So Jedi Knight Anakin, I would get up to 7 stars, Gear 11, and then Aayla Secura. She is one of those anti-meta characters you can use in any team. She's one of the few Jedi that you can pull out of a Jedi team and they work well in any team. Aayla Secura and Jedi Knight Anakin both, and both of them are really low gear, and Jedi Knight Anakin's only at 4 stars. So those are the last 2 characters I'll recommend. So you got a couple Jedi, First Order Officer, Rex, and then the Ewoks. You got 2 of the Ewoks. That's, you know, only about 7 characters to chew on. I think you could probably get that done in the next month or 2 because of the way you develop characters. So hopefully this helps. This focuses you. You did want to know who maybe possibly you would want to do on the next Zeta. And after looking at your resistance, I thought, what better than Zeta Finn? He doesn't have his Zeta yet, and your resistance team looks amazing. You're ready to go with the top 5 characters. Those are probably the 5 I would use. So if you were wondering which is the next Zeta you should do, I actually recommend resistance, your Zeta Finn. It's the only one you absolutely have to Zeta in this team for this team to work right. And then lastly, I just want to show the world your scoundrels. Now, when looking at scoundrels, people might say, what? This looks like crap. Why would you show us the scoundrels? He doesn't even have his IG-88 up, and he doesn't have anybody else up. I wanted to show why I tell people that you really only need a couple of scoundrels, and the rest can be placeholders. And what I mean by placeholder is you just need them to go into the battle, so you just need them unlocked and at a certain star level for them to go into the battle. Like Zam can go into the battle because you need 5, but she doesn't even need to be durable because she is a placeholder. What that means is she is not there to do the damage. Stormtrooper, Han, Boba Fett, and Lando are there to do the damage. With Boba Fett lead, Stormtrooper, Han, and Lando Calrissian, those 3 are going to do everything you need for all of the scoundrel events for the most part. But most of those scoundrel events require 5 characters to go in, and no less. And so because of that, you need a couple more to walk through that battle, and that's where you need a couple more. Lando is amazing as a leader, but Boba Fett would be the better. But Chewbacca and Zam Wessel, he's used as basically what I call placeholders. Just characters that are just high enough that they can go into the battle, but they aren't even needed in the battle to win at 3 stars. So this is a good example of when I say a placeholder, what I mean when I say that. Chewbacca is only at Gear 8, 7 star, and he'll probably never be higher than that until he gets reworked. And that's okay. So this is what it looks like. You only really need 3 scoundrels, but remember, sometimes you'll need to take in 5, and when you have to do that, you're going to have some placeholders. You're going to have leveled up high enough to get in there. But you don't have to invest into all of them to be Gear 11. As always, I hope this has helped. If you guys have comments for Asher, leave them in the comments down below. Let him know what you think of his arena squad. Should he add Sith Assassin onto this team and take Boba Fett out, or am I wrong? As always, keep your gaming on. Warrior out.